Scream 1996 was directed by Wes Craven and stars Drew Barrymore, Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, Skeet Urlich, and David Arquette. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not 100% sure, but it also stars Matthew Lillard, and the premise follows a group of teens who have to figure out who a mass killer is that is haunting their town of Woodsboro. Yeah, so I get the Scream costume. I can't find my mask in time. Boy, that is tight. I didn't find my mask in time to film the video. But yeah, I did watch the first Scream. Scream 5 comes out Friday. And so I'm gonna start watching all these movies and doing a review series. If you know, my last review series did not turn out well.
Ah, this is bad!
The Matrix review series. I only did one video on that because, I don't know, I just never saw number 2 or number 3. It's just really dumb of me. I don't know. I just didn't go around to see it, and I haven't even seen the new one yet. But anyways, so I'm going to try to do my best to see Scream. I know I'm watching Scream 2 tonight. But, yeah. So, I'm going to be reviewing all these movies leading up to Scream 5. Most likely, I will not be going to see it in theaters. If by the slight chance of miracle I do, I'll have a review on my channel, but I will also review it when it comes out on Blu-ray, and then do a ranking of these films. But just in case I do go to theaters, I'm starting to binge all these. If you notice, there's not number 4. I have to buy number 4 off Amazon. But anyways, hello everybody. My name is Zachary Movie Chat, and horror movies, my favorite kind of horror movies are movies, I think, like The Visit. This movie right here. The Visit, just in case you don't know what it is, it's a M. Night Shyamalan horror movie. It's the movies where, like, it's a psychological movie, and you know it can happen. Actual stuff like that can happen, and it's terrifying. My second favorite is slashers, where it's really dumb, and it's very different from The Visit to slashers. But slashers are very fun, and so Scream franchise sounds like a franchise I'd like. Even though, so when I was watching, like, videos on Scream, I thought the first one was, like, this big, great movie that released in theaters, and then the rest were just direct-to-video, and I thought the new one was going to be direct-to-video, too. Until I did some research, and then turns out they're all theatrically released, they're all big budget, and so that made me hyped to see the franchise. But, sure, I know these movies probably aren't very good. But anyway, so I started watching the first Scream. What did I think of it? I'm going to tell you right here in this video. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button. 5 likes, and I will do a Scream versus Halloween versus video. And then 10 likes, and I will go ahead and do a Halloween review series leading up to Halloween Ends, because I probably got to start now, because I don't got that much time. With that said, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell if you did not miss any videos. And here we go, talking about Scream. And the first thing you gotta say off the bat, Scream is an amazing movie. There are a lot of amazing things about this. And before going into this, I was like, Scream's not a classic. It was made in 1996. But after I watched it, I realized this is a classic. There are so many things now that I realize in other movies that make so much more sense now that I've seen this movie. I recognize iconic scenes. There are scenes in this movie that's very iconic. And it's just fantastic. I didn't think that I would love this movie as much as I did, and I didn't. The first 2 acts I was enjoying, but I didn't love. They were more on the lines, for me, about, every scene that Ghostface called, every scene that he called and he was in was downright terrifying. They nailed every suspense, and that's why Craven's called the master of suspense. Rest in peace. But oh my gosh, every scene was filled with so much tension. I was pretty much on the edge of my seat, clenching my butt cheeks, because it was just so suspenseful. And then we go to teen drama. In fact, we have the very great first scene of the movie, and then the very next scene's a sex scene. Why? And just stuff like that. Teen drama. Now, some of the things with Gale Weathers and the mother and stuff, all that I thought was very intriguing. But stuff like Billy, now, I won't talk to Billy and I won't do the dirty with him anymore, because all that stuff I don't care about in a horror movie. In fact, that's my least favorite thing about horror movies, is that they have to incorporate so many teens doing the dirty. And I'm a teen. I don't do the dirty every day of my life. And I don't know, I just guess kids like that are different. But I don't care about that in this movie. But then, as much as I was like, okay, this is kind of dumb, then the next second, we get a phone call from Ghostface, and you're like, is he going to jump out? Is he not going to jump out? This is downright terrifying. And it was all nailed perfectly. I absolutely love the tension, but then we get the teen romance, and it was stupid. And it just baggles my mind. I guess that's what people want to see in horror movies. Not me. I cannot wait for the thrills and chills. I guess there are some people who go to horror movies expecting to be, well, what the second scene of this movie was. Not good. But then, as we go to the third act, and the reason I say I love this movie is because that dang ending. The entirety of the whole scene at the house, the whole finale, possibly the best entire finale in horror movies. I thought Halloween had a great finale. This one was great, especially because we got the twist reveal. Matthew Lillard in this film was awesome. He was incredible. I loved every scene he was in. He stole the show. And I didn't actually think it was Matthew Lillard. And then the credits says Matthew Lillard. I'm like, dang, Shaggy is a killer. Cool. And then we get Billy and Matthew Lillard. And they just made for some great villains. Great chemistry between all of them. Matthew Lillard was he was insane. I actually think he's a mentally insane person. Not in real life. He's a good person in real life. But in this movie, he played a mentally insane person really well. And Billy had a great motive for killing people. Just the finale was great. The entire scene. When Tatum died, I was just sitting there like, okay, now I'm not going to know who will die and who will not die. And things like this I love. I'm not sure what I was experiencing when I saw Halloween, if I was expecting all these characters to die, if I was expecting all these characters to live. But in this film, I expected Tatum to at least live. I expected a lot of these people to live it through the entire film. Now, there's obviously the characters where you're like, just sitting back, you're like, okay, they just introduced this character to kill him off. Cool. There's also the characters where you're like, okay, this is anyone's game now. You don't know who's going to die. And that is how you build suspense. You don't know who's going to die. And you don't know who's going to survive. You don't know when Ghostface will appear. You don't know if he's not going to appear. And that's just what makes this film, is that it was so dang scary. So dang entertaining. In fact, okay, I gotta start a rant now. How are they gonna make this film into a franchise? They killed off the killers They killed off the killers in the first film. And then they're like, okay, this movie made money. Let's make it into a sequel franchise. How are they gonna do that? You can't just, it's gonna be the same thing. Move to a different location. Killings. Move to another different location. Killings. Move to another different location, killings, and then the new one. In fact, I have a theory of the new one. I think because it's a reboot, they're going to try to shock people and bring back Billy or something. Unless they already did that, no spoilers for upcoming films down below. You can spoil this film because this is a spoiler review. No spoilers for upcoming films. I'm watching the second one tonight. If you spoil it, I will block your comment because I just will get very mad. But this film, it was just shocking. And the shock that we got the twist reveal of the killers, and I knew we would. And then we know that there's going to be a sequel. But how will the sequel work, is what I'm thinking. How are they going to... How are they going to build upon this masterful film? And then, how are they going to build this world and make it something that's not the exact same thing? Another positive I have to state. I loved how the killer was human. In a lot of horror movies, like Halloween, if you try to hurt Michael, he's just gonna keep walking through. This monster, this killer, could be taken down because it's a human. And the physicality in this movie was brutal. I was laughing my butt off with my brother as we were watching this killer get the crap beat out of him. And then, when I get to thinking, I'm like, you know, a lot of killers in horror movies are, invincible. They made a killer that could get knocked down and not instantly get back up. A killer that could get hurt, and it's possible to get stopped. And just because they did that, that's what makes this movie memorable, is Ghostface as a killer, the big twist, All of that stuff was great. The suspense was great. This is a masterfully made horror movie. I'm not excited to see the sequel, though. I really think it's going to suck. But Scream 5, the new one, is coming out Friday, and I cannot wait to watch that. I want to know your thoughts down below. What did you think of the original Scream? Did you find it a suspenseful masterpiece full of shocking kills and shocking twists like I did? Or did you find it a little dull around the edges? Just being a slasher. For me, I'm going to give this movie, I'd say an A-. I would go 9, but I'm going to go 8.5 out of 10. And I'm going to go 4 stars. I gave it a 4.5 stars on Letterboxd the moment I finished watching this film. In fact, my first words was, ugh, I want to put this movie 5 stars, but I can't. But it's also because I had to think about this movie. And I guess after seeing it for a few days, I guess I was just still hype high on the twist. But going into the sequels, I just really couldn't find that big of a problem. But it's still a very good movie, but I just can't give it, like, an A+. It's not a movie that I'm going to continually think about and feel emotions like it did for Spider-Man. In fact, I was so hyped off Spider-Man that I gave it 5 stars, and it's probably down to a 4 until I watch it again. Same thing with this movie. If I watch it again, it might go up to a 5. But for now, it's going 4 stars, 8.5, and an A-. So, what's your thoughts down below? Stay tuned for a Scream 2 movie review. It might not come out this week because I'm very busy tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. I got things every night, and so that's why I'm taking the advantage and watching this movie. But I'm a very busy man. I don't have scheduled to post that many reviews because I'm a very busy man. But the moment I do, I will be posting videos. I will be enjoying this. I'm trying to get my channel to grow to at least 70 by February. It's probably not going to happen. But if you like these review, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the bell. Stay tuned for Scream 2 review. Stay tuned for, I'm going to see the 355, I hope, very soon. I might not, but stay tuned for that review. Stay tuned for all these reviews coming up. This movie's a stacked year. In fact, January was already so stacked with the Scream and with Hotel Transylvania, with Peacemaker. This month is already so stacked. And this year's just going to be stacked, and I hope that I will live up my YouTube hype. But anyways, this has been a Zachary Movie Chat production. Keep loving movies, and with that said, stay tuned for the next review, Scream 2. Wish me luck on watching it. And with that said, subscribe to join the Nerd Army.